welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of the SportsRap podcast right here on Heat 100 Radio. It is your boy SportsRap D in the building. And right now, before we get into the Jalen Hurts breakdown and the evolution of Jalen Hurts, we're going to talk a little real quick. I mentioned to you in the opening about Dan Snyder and his wife possibly being up to selling the team. Apparently, reports are out that they have hired Bank of America for a possible sale of the team. There were also NFL meetings where owners suggested that the NFL do something to kind of push the envelope, kind of force the hand of them. The commissioner at one point said during those meetings, let's just wait. Let's see how it plays out. So apparently something is going on, and there's a very strong possibility that the Commanders will end up being sold. They're looking at talking. The initial asking price is somewhere around $5 billion. They're estimating that it could go up to possibly somewhere around $6 or $7 billion. So keep our ears to the story, let you know what's going on with that. So getting back into where we left off. We left off with Eagles talk, and we talked about some stats, and we talked about Jalen Hurts. You cannot be unimpressed by his evolution, by his play this year. The last couple games, he's made some throws that, in my opinion, will be talked about for a long time. These throws are on the money. The 68-yarder to A.J. Brown yesterday, on the money. There was one he threw to Devontae Smith yesterday, on the money. He has evolved. He has put in the dedication, and it shows. Like, again, he's arguably front runner for the MVP this year. What brings me to this is there was some dialogue, and I posted it. There's one Chris Sims who somehow, some way believes that if the Eagles had Gardner Minshew as quarterback, they would not be really missing the beat. Unlike what he said, if Patrick Mahomes or Jared Allen, one of those two guys, were away from their team, that's something different. We're going to try to bring you in, Rich. So this is where the crazy part is Chris Sims is like very short-lived career, extremely short-lived career in the NFL. In my opinion, I don't understand where he's getting that situation. When you look at the RPOs that are incorporated into the offense, you can't run those same RPOs with Gardner Minshew in at the helm. The same ones that you can run with Jalen Hurts back there. You can't run the same ones. It's no way that you can run those same ones. So wherever Chris Sims is talking about, and I said at one point I even mentioned, I felt like he was delusional to say something like that. Again, what I feel like is just some more heat for the Eagles where people are not wanting to fully come to grips with the situation that's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Where they've made, if you think about it, this is a totally different situation than last season's team. They made the playoffs, and they had that run-in with Tampa Bay. They got determined, they got dedicated, and they focused, and it shows that they focus and how focused they are all the way across the board. As Hunts, they are 13-1 right now. We'll see what happens. So he was a former second-round pick, went from potential career backup and fill in for Carson Wentz to now the most talked about athlete in Philadelphia and a legit MVP candidate. He recently made history with 23 rushing touchdowns in his first 32 starts. It's the most in league history for a quarterback in that span. He completed 21 of 31 passes for 217 yards with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, and ran for 77 yards on 7 carries in a win over the Giants. He's the only player in NFL history with at least 6,200 passing yards, 1,500 rushing yards in his first 32 NFL starts. He recently became the 20th player with at least 200 passing yards, 75 rushing yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 touchdown run in the same game. In 4 starts in relief of Carson Wentz prior to this now success, completed 52 of his passes for 1,061 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Okay, Hurts in 2021. 15 starts, 61.3 of his passes completed, 26th in the league. He had 3,144 passing yards, good for 21st in the league, ahead of Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Baker Mayfield. As a rusher, Hurts' 784 yards were good for number 22 in the NFL, leading the Eagles and all NFL quarterbacks. The most troubling was his penchant for escaping the pocket too early and not tossing a laser-type throw when it was needed the most. Hence, a lot of that has changed, if you will. He's now his 133.2 passer rating on 10-plus yard throws. It's the highest among all QBs. 42 NFL games with 32 starts. He's now 21-11 after getting off to a 12-1 start this season. An MVP candidate, he's completing right now at a rate 68% of his passes for 3,157 yards, 22 touchdowns, and currently, as we're speaking now, 5 interceptions. 22 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on the season. He has 108.4 passer rating, 8.1 yards per attempt, and almost 13 yards per completion. This season, he is top 10 in several major categories. In passing yards, he's number 10. Passing TDs, he's number 5. Passer rating, 1 out of 33. Yards per pass, he's number 2. Adjusted yards, passing attempts, number 2 out of 53. Quarterback rating, number 4 out of 65. Looking at where he's done, what he's done this season, he's looking at possibly SportsRap says his current market value once they actually get into contract talks and extending him. He could be in that realm with all these other elite quarterbacks. It says his estimates Hurts current market value at $44.7 million per year at 6 years, $268 million overall. In my opinion, the way he's been playing right now, deservingly so. He has, in some games, putting this team on his back and won games. He's kept his composure. He's kept his cool throughout everything that's going on. They fought the adversity with him as the leader. There's total trust in Jalen Hurts with this team right now. And they don't feel like he's going to lead them awry. If everything continues to fall into place like it has been, it could be a very, very good outcome. Very lucrative outcome for the Philadelphia Eagles in the city of Philadelphia. We'll see what happens. It's exciting, and I like the fact, like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I like the fact that this team doesn't have the big-headedness syndrome. They tend to focus on the very next opponent, the game at hand. They were the way that they took the one loss, the way that they bounced back from the one loss was somewhat impressive to me as well. So again, I'm continuing to like what I see. I only see more good things coming. Again, like I said, one more win, and the Eagles will clinch the number one overall seed in the NFC going into the playoffs. Coming up this Saturday, Christmas Eve, big game against Dallas, if you will. It's going to mean more for Dallas than it will for us. But I think you play the starters. I think you go there and you get that win. And you put this number one seed in your pocket. Take that win, put it in your pocket. And then you can gauge how you want to rest your starters against the Saints and against the Giants when those two games won't mean anything to you. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll definitely see how it plays out. That's just my opinion on how I think that things should go. Moving along, folks, we got Sixers basketball. I got on my Sixers hat. I'm wearing my Sixers hat today. I wore my Eagles hat last week, but I wore my Sixers hat today because Sixers are in action tonight. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Sixers. They are 16-12 right now. They just beat the Warriors on Friday. And they've been looking a little bit better. I think some things are starting to come together with James Harden and Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, who now is again leading the league in scoring, by the way. Dominating in a way that I'm comfortable with. I still would like to see a little bit more of the bully ball, but I'm okay with him operating foul line in. Like I talked to Rich a couple weeks ago when I talked about one of the games. I talked about the number of three-pointers. I think it's been coming down. It's down to like 2 or 3 a game, which I'm okay with, the 2 or 3 a game. But I also like what I've seen everywhere else, where he's commanding the ball. He's beginning again to make some of the right passes. He's gauging when the double team is coming, and there's times when he's making moves, quick decisions, making moves before the double team can get there. And again, there's some stuff coming together between him and Harden. The other pieces are starting to fill in as well. We're still missing Tyrese Maxey, who initially they said would be back before Christmas, but it's not looking like that right now. But I'll keep you updated on that when I get info on that. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about, and I have purposely brought up the James Harden and Joel Embiid becoming together, starting to come together right now, and we're starting to see it, is just, I saw an article, and it talked about James Harden and his reasoning for leaving the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of people pegged him as the quitter and this, that, and whatever. And now that I think back, when I saw this article, when I thought back about the situation, I remembered that prior to that, the season before that, when he got traded there, and then the start of the next season, when Kyrie was out or missing and Kevin Durant was hurt, James Harden did his best to hold that situation down. But some of the things that he mentioned in his situation was that there was no structure. He even said in himself, Nate Williams, thanks for tuning in. He even said himself, he said superstars need structure. It's kind of like what fuels them to be the superstars that they are. So he basically was saying that there was no structure, and he didn't like that. He wanted out. And he also brought up the point that if he was labeled as the quitter, he said that this past summer, the other superstar demanded a trade and all that situation. And we know how that situation played out. We know what happened there. But basically what James Harden was saying is that there was no structure. And I'm going to read this quote, and this is a quote from an article. This is a quote he said, and I quote, "I don't mean to, just down talk to anybody or whatever. It was just there was no structure, and even superstars, they need structure. That's what allows us to be the best players and leaders for our respective organizations. I just feel like internally things weren't what I expected when I was trying to get traded there. I think everybody knows that. And I knew people were going to talk and say, you quit and all that stuff. But then the following summer, the other superstar there wanted to leave. So it's like, am I still the quitter? End quote. He, in a way, makes a good point. And now it comes out again, like we said, the structure. We saw that, and now that he said this, when you think about what he mentioned in the trade situation with Kevin Durant demanding a trade, and initially before that they wanted Steve Nash fired, and it ultimately led to his removal. There's no structure. Like, you could see it when that whole situation played out. You now look back and you say, oh wow, he probably was right. There wasn't any structure there. There are things here. And again, people here in the city get on Doc and they say, Doc this, Doc that, fire him, whatever. You have to understand, going into the season, there were a lot of moving parts, and you have to figure out how to put them in under real-time game bullets. You can game plan it, plot it out in training camp, but it's a lot more difficult when it's just your team. You have to do it under live bullets. I believe that it's beginning to come together. Like I said, I see some things brewing, coming together with James Harden and Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris is once again looking like he has a role and he's identified a role. Of course, we're missing Tyrese Maxey right now, and we all know what Tyrese Maxey's role can be. P.J. Tucker, the things that people are saying about P.J. Tucker, I think once the team is completely healthy again and we get into, the season started in October, it's November, December. Once we get into like January, February, I think things will come together a little bit better. Doc is still trying to figure out where and how Montrezl Harrell can contribute consistently. So I think that's why he's been going with Montrez a little bit now over Paul Reed, because of the leadership. And Paul Reed is great, but he's still a little bit of work. He's still somewhat raw of a talent. And then you have the surprise, which I think right now is arguably the best pickup of the offseason this go round, DeAnthony Melton, who stepped into the starting lineup and showed you what you will get coming off the bench. Also, you see the improvement and you see the dedication with Shake Milton, where he's played himself into the rotation and he looks like he's determined to stay in the rotation with his play. And again, all this bodes well for later on in the season when you have these guys, the Shake Miltons and the DeAnthony Meltons, the George Niangs and Montrezl Harrell, to now come off the bench and play minutes for you in the playoffs or late in the season. Now these guys have an understanding of what it is there to do. There won't be any guessing about when I'm going to get snatched out or what I need to do so I don't get pulled out. I know what I'm going in to do, and I'll go in and do that, and it'll be a lot more comfortable, and it will bode well for the Sixers down there in the long run. So it's going to come together. People, like I said, it's got to take some time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay? And I understand some of the things that we've seen so far where people are saying, oh, well, you need to fire Doc and this and that and whatever. Yeah. A lot of that talk is going to come. That's just the Philadelphia fan base. It is what it is. I mean, there's no other way to explain it, but that's the Philadelphia fan base. But again, people, I say give it some time, and I think it will come together. Like I said, you're starting to see it. The last couple of games between Joel Embiid and James Harden have been really good. You're still getting that contribution from Shake Milton, from DeAnthony Melton, like I said, and George Niang. We still need to work on Trez and Paul Reed. And we got Tobias doing his thing right now. So, again, like I said, and when Tyrese gets back, we'll have full health. So I think we'll be together. Once we get fully healthy, we'll be okay. And we'll be able to... And what they're doing now without being fully healthy, people are already noticing, like, watch out for this team. Once they finally put it together, that they could be something to reckon with down the stretch and throughout the season. Again, like I said, people, just give it some time. It's going to come together. You know, the Sixers are in a position where they can still also make a move at the trade deadline. Well, trade deadline hasn't come up yet. So they can arguably make a move if need be, which is one of the reasons again why I said they got rid of not so much got rid of, but they moved the center. I can't remember his name right now, and then the other guy, Isaiah Joe, and the center from Western Kentucky, Charles Bassey. Why they got rid of them? Because of those contracts, they can have some freedom under the cap and under the luxury tax to possibly make a trade or bring in a free agent if someone gets waived around that trade deadline or something like that. So, folks, that's it. Just take it easy. It's going to come together soon enough. And soon enough, we'll all be cheering and rooting for the Sixers almost like we are rooting for the Eagles right now. And it's up to them to do it, you know. I will be, the next game, like I said, they play tonight, but then I'll be at the game Wednesday against the Raptors at home to somewhat, continue this homestand. But before that, Wednesday is the 21st. The Thursday, typically we would be at the Drake Tavern because this is my other week there. But unfortunately, there will be no Drake Tavern this Thursday. I will be celebrating a birthday. Another year around the sun on Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. It's my birthday. So right now we are the 19th, and it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days away. So you know where I am, at SportsRap_D. SportsRap Podcast LLC is the group page. You can send me gifts, say happy birthday to me, do whatever you like. Just show me some love like you always do on a regular basis. Just show me some love for my birthday. It would be greatly appreciated. And I'm just having fun with y'all. But no, my birthday is Thursday, and I will not be doing the Drake. I'll be celebrating my birthday on Thursday. Like I said, I'll be starting the celebrations on Wednesday at the Sixers game. So if you're down there Wednesday, and I'll be posting probably and stuff. If you see me, just come say hi, say happy birthday to me. And we can chit-chat a little bit and enjoy the game. So another story that I saw, and I saw a video, and the video, when I initially saw it, was a little disturbing to me at first. And then I lost it and I found it again, and then I realized it was an old video. And I'll talk about that in a second. But nonetheless, I'm getting into some Brittany Griner dialogue right now. It has been announced that she will be playing in the upcoming season for the WNBA. And I saw this article and I said, what does it mean? Her return mean for the Mercury and for the WNBA. Now, mind you, folks, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, and I'm going to go into this whole situation, give you some background and where I was with this entire situation. When it all started, we got the story. I mentioned from the very beginning that I hoped that she would not be used as a pawn. I had some people say that she wasn't already. I felt like when they went back and forth, they first started to go back and forth, I felt like she was already beginning to be used as a pawn. So we upgrade, we move on. She has her hearing, yada, yada, yada. We go through all that. And then ultimately, about a week ago, she gets released. They have a prisoner swap. The U.S. sends a known arms dealer back to Russia in exchange for the release of Brittany Griner. Immediately in that situation, there was chatter about the other gentleman, I forget his name, who was also being detained in Russia, has been there longer than Brittany Griner was there. There was talk about why he couldn't have been added into the deal, why he couldn't have been released as well. So, folks, I'm getting ready to take you down a road where some of you may not want to hear, but it's my interpretation, and I feel like I need to give it to you because it's some of the things that I said, or it could become, or it could present itself as some of the things that I mentioned way back when. So let's stay here for a second. She was released, and then again, like I said, the chatter about the other gentleman who had been there longer who was not also released. One of the things that I said about that was, when you look at this entire situation, you look at the positives that could be benefits of Brittany Griner being released. Very popular, a WNBA player. There's a lot of talk. WNBA, we have been talking since forever, needs the promo, needs the publicity. So, as far as negotiating her release, kind of looks good on Joe Biden, where it looks like he did something. He got a prisoner released off of something where they can arguably and allegedly say that she really didn't need to have that much time for. You can also look at the marketability of the entire situation. The marketability for the WNBA with her return. It will increase because more people will now want to come and see her. And it could totally be in support of her, to come out for her, support of her release. And I'm not taking that for granted. I'm not making any bones about that. I'm just giving you another aspect of some things that I mentioned in the beginning. Could be very lucrative for them. Okay. It could also be, outside of basketball, very lucrative and very beneficial for Brittany Griner. We know how these situations play out. Interview circuits, major shows, book deals, and all that other kind of jazz. Very, very easy, or I'll say it's easier to market an WNBA athlete of Brittany Griner's stature than it is of the other gentleman. As you can see, like I said, she's made the announcement that she will play. So again, like I said, that's going to increase the marketability of the WNBA because people are going to come and see her now that she's home. Again, like I said, it could, and I'm not definitely saying that it's going to go this way, but I'm just giving it to you like I see it because I've said this. Thanks, Rich, for the birthday shout out. I'm just giving it to you like I see it. Like I said, sports as we see it. Heat 100 Radio, the station that keeps it 100. And it could very, very well go into some of these situations or appear that some of these situations will exist or come to fruition. But again, the other side of it, like I said, I'm happy that she was released because I personally didn't think that she needed that much time. I didn't think that it had to go, that it should have went through what it went through. I don't think she should have went through all of that for an alleged mistake. Okay, I think it was a bit much. But again, I understand Russia is Russia, United States is the United States. The laws are totally different. I get that. But get into this piece, like I said, to this piece. And again, you know, you look at it in another light. And like, again, I said, it's more susceptible for a marketability aspect, business aspect with Brittany Griner being released than it is for the other gentleman to be released. I mean, the other gentleman could get the same stuff. He can get the release, the book deal, the interview circus on all the major shows and all that. Yeah, it could happen. But it won't have the same impact as Brittany Griner. Like, Brittany Griner has a double impact. She can get that. And then again, she's going to impact the WNBA when she comes back to play. It's going to be an impact there. Whether people want to admit it or not, there's going to be an impact there. And this is what I said before. And this is what I said after she was released. And I hoped that it doesn't come to fruition and blow up like I think it possibly could. But again, like I said, with the WNBA situation, we've been talking about how they needed it. It's a good look for them, if you will, as far as the marketability for this upcoming season. And again, like I said, it may not be the thought for the people right now of that being the marketability or that level of marketability, it's going to be a lot more people coming in to arenas to see her now. And it's going to help in the long run. Just is. You know, it's nothing to harp about. It's nothing to cry over, argue about. It's going to happen. Again, like I said, because people may not even thinking about the side that I'm thinking about right now, and they're going to just come to see her because they haven't seen her. She missed a whole season and a half, I believe, and they're just going to come and they're going to see her. But the other thing, the video that I saw, and again, like I said, when I saw it, I lost it, and I found it again. When I found it again, I saw more of what I saw the initial time, and it all goes into some things that were said about her from the beginning of her career all the way up into the situation that she just encountered. I believe I shared the video in the group page. I'm not going to go into detail. I'll let you all get a chance to check it out yourselves, and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about when you see it. In my opinion, the surfacing of this video is not a good look for her. I don't believe that she had anything to do with releasing this video at this point. So I'm not, I'm not really behind it. But again, like I said, I saw it and it was disturbing to me. And the reason it was disturbing to me because I understand where it could go. And at this point, where I understand it could go, I don't think it's fair to her right now. I don't think it's fair to her at all, but especially right now, I really don't think it's fair to her as to where this video and this article could take people in their imagination. And then again, we know social media is a you-know-what. So, like I said, I just had to touch on that real quick because, like I said, this video was disturbing for me. And, I just hope that it does not cause any problems for her because it's not something that she really needs right now. Getting into your schedules upcoming tonight, closing out week 15. Monday Night Football. The LA Rams are in Wisconsin, in Lambeau, to face off against the Green Bay Packers. Thursday, my birthday, December 22nd. Yeah, December 22nd, my birthday. Another year around the sun, people. December 22nd, Thursday. Jacksonville at the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets there. Then you move to Christmas Eve. A lot of games on Christmas Eve, and then we got some games on Christmas Day. So here we go, Christmas Eve games. Buffalo at Chicago. I like Buffalo there. New Orleans, let's see. New Orleans at Cleveland. I'm going to go with Cleveland at home. Houston at Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to take KC at home over Seattle. Tough one here, but I'm going to go Minnesota at home over the Giants. I'm going to go Cincy over New England. Detroit over Carolina. Baltimore over Atlanta. San Fran at home over Washington. Philly on the road at Dallas. And I'm going to go with Pittsburgh at home over the Rams. Moving into Sunday, Christmas Day. Take Miami at home against Green Bay. Like the Rams at home against the Broncos. And surprisingly, I like Tampa Bay on the road at Arizona. And next Monday, I like the Chargers and Indy over the Colts. NCAA college football playoffs are set. Top 4 teams in the semis on December 31st. You got number 2 Michigan facing off against number 3 TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. Then you have number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State in the Peach Bowl. The winners of those 2 games go on to the national championship January 9th. In the NBA tonight, Raptors are in town to face off against the Sixers, the Jazz and the Cavs, the Magic and the Hawks. The Magic and the Hawks, yes. The Mavs and the T-Wolves. The Bucks and the Pelicans. The Blazers and the Thunder. The Spurs and the Rockets. The Lakers, Suns, and Hornets, Kings. NHL, Monday. Stars, Blue Jackets. Sabres, Golden Knights. Red Wings, Capitals. Canadians, Coyotes. Panthers, Bruins. Blues, Canucks. Oilers, Predators, and Islanders, Avalanche. NBA, Christmas Day schedule. Going to be a great weekend. If you're a Philly fan, you got the Eagles on Christmas Eve against the Cowboys. And then you get the Sixers and the Knicks, 12 noon Christmas Day. Followed by the Lakers and the Mavericks, the Bucks and the Celtics, the Grizzlies and the Warriors, the Suns and the Nuggets. As Christmas gets closer again, I will definitely repost those games for you so you can get all those schedules. Folks, thanks as always for tuning in to Sports Rap Podcast LLC right here on Heat 100 Radio. You know where you can get me, right here in the group. We'll go live every Monday. Sports Rap Podcast LLC is the group page. You can get me individually right here. You can message me here or leave me comments here. You can also get me on Instagram and Twitter at SportsRap_D. You can get on YouTube. SportsRap TV is the group, is the channel. Get over there. You know, thumbs up for the videos that you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you can get in tune to any videos or alerted when any new videos are uploaded. Also, the webpage, sportsrapradio.com. You can get some insight there on what we do here and how we all got started here at Sports Rap, bringing this podcast to you. You can also catch us every week on TuneIn. You can catch the station every day on the TuneIn app or on Heat100Radio.com. Folks, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Be great on purpose. Enjoy your Monday to kick off your week. We are heavy into the holiday season. Christmas is 6 days away. 6 days away. My birthday is 4 days away. You can give me a gift for either one. But anyway, no, I'll be celebrating my birthday again, like I said, December 22nd. So just give me some shout out, show me some love, and all of that jazz. It would be definitely appreciated. Again, be great on purpose. Enjoy your Monday. Bundle up, folks. It's a little chilly out there today. I will see you the rest of the week on social media, right back here, December 26th, the Monday after Christmas. And you can tell me all about how your holiday was and how your Christmas was and what you are planning for New Year's Eve. Thanks for tuning in, folks. It's your boy signing out. I will see you all next week again right here. Thanks.